All right. For those of you who don't know me, I am Kelly Calkins. I'm the owner of Restoring Hope, and I can rebuild the body, but technology kind of kicks my butt sometimes. So such is life. I am jumping on today because I was up. My husband and I both were up all last night with our puppy. Our little Claire Bear was sick last night. She got into something in the yard. She was up sick all night. So we had really broken sleep. And we were sitting in our living room watching the puppy this morning. And I just thought, man, I cannot remember the last time that I felt this tired. I have a heaviness in my head. I can tell my eyes don't feel quite right. That's inflammation. I can tell that my thinking feels a little bit muddy. I can tell my mood is a little bit heavy. I feel the tiredness in the forehead area. And I thought, I'm so grateful that this is not my everyday anymore, because there was a long time that this was my everyday. And I talk to so many women, and this is still their everyday. So I thought I would jump on and just talk to you guys about sleep and why it's so important. So I just did a video talking about natural sleep versus artificial sleep. Natural sleep is what we're talking about today. Natural sleep is when your body falls asleep on its own and it can stay asleep on its own. With that said, natural sleep is only beneficial for you if it is uninterrupted sleep. When you have interrupted sleep, meaning you are tossing and turning or waking up throughout the night, it is inflammatory. It is not restorative sleep. So there's two things we're going to look at today. And I'm going to mention them together because it's the same result. We're going to be looking at broken sleep, which is interrupted sleep, and what happens when you're at less than 7 hours of sleep. So in the body, I want to start by saying what happens when you sleep. Why am I feeling so off today? Why, if this is you, are you feeling so many things chronically? Well, there's a lot of really important things that happen when you have natural sleep and when you have enough of it. So for starters, your immune system is at its most active. You're making cells that fight inflammation. You are making cells that fight infection. Your body is making antibody cells so that you can have more resilience moving forward against foreign invaders. Your body is making immune cells so that you can have a stronger, more robust, faster immune response in your body. Natural sleep and 7 to 8 hours of sleep, specifically of uninterrupted sleep, is when your cells are going to do their repairing and their growing. So we're talking about muscles, tissues, and hormones. This is also when insulin regulation happens. So this is a really, really big deal because we have an epidemic of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome in our country. So I want to talk about this one for a little bit because I see so many women struggling with this, especially in perimenopause and menopause, because the dysfunction that they've already been experiencing has now been amplified by the hormone changes of perimenopause and menopause. So insulin resistance is going to be inflammatory to your body. That inflammation is going to cause weight gain, and it really isn't going to matter how much or how little you eat. You will not budge on the scale because of the insulin response in your body. The blood sugar response in your body is just too skewed. Okay. Insulin resistance, just so you might have heard the term, but you might not know what it is. When your body digests food, your body's going to knock on your pancreas, right? And it's going to say, hey, liver, spleen, pancreas, we need some insulin. So that insulin is then going to go knock on your cells and say, hey, let me in. We've got to balance the blood sugar response. Here's what happens. When we have blood sugar dysregulation, that insulin is having to knock on that cell more and more and more, and the cell stops listening, and it is more resistant to let the insulin in. And this is where you start getting into type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. I liken it to this. If you are a mom, you have likely experienced your child at some point going, mom, 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 or just talking all the time. And as moms, we develop this coping mechanism to just tune that crap out so we can keep our sanity. That is literally what your cells are doing to the insulin in your body when they're constantly getting hit for that insulin. That's insulin resistance, okay? Also during natural sleep, and when you have at least 7 hours of sleep, your brain does all of its processing. So we're talking about memory, learning, concentration, focus, creativity. It's when your brain does its version of a defrag and it reorganizes everything so that it can function properly and optimally the next day. It also is the work that your brain does is how your body promotes emotional well-being and emotional stability. The last piece I want to touch on for natural sleep and getting at least 7 hours of sleep is hormone, specifically hunger hormone regulation. So during natural sleep, your ghrelin, the I'm hungry hormone, decreases, and leptin, the I feel full hormone, increases. This is what we want. We want the hungry hormone to say, I don't have to be that high because I'm being provided for. And we want the I'm full and satiated hormone to increase because our body knows it's getting the nutrition it needs. That gets whacked out. So the ghrelin doesn't come down and the leptin doesn't go up. Also, this is when your sex hormones will work towards rebalancing. So we're talking about testosterone, estrogen, estriol, progesterone, pregnenolone, all your sex steroid hormones. So what does all this mean? This means that if you have broken sleep, if you are tossing and turning, if you are waking throughout the night, you will not have a healthy insulin response. You will not have balanced hormones. And neither of those areas are going to improve until you fix your sleep. It's really that big of a deal. So now I want to pivot and tell you what happens when you have broken sleep or you have less than 7 hours of sleep. Increased risk of high blood pressure or hypertension. You will have increased cortisol, which is a direct contributor to belly fat. We've talked about this, that cortisol is a stress hormone. Your cortisol receptors are in your adipose abdominal tissue. Your body is smart. It wants to survive. When you are stressed out, whether it's from life, work, emotions, or broken sleep, your body releases cortisol. And your body says, we can hold that cortisol. Don't worry, we're on it. We will create more cortisol receptors so we can hold that excess cortisol. And this is why, ladies, as we are busy between family and work and life and hormone changes that come along with different seasons of life and not sleeping great, you will get puffier and squishier and grow in your abdominal area. And whether you eat all the things or you eat none of the things, it's not going to budge because it's a cortisol belly. Okay. Also, when you have broken sleep or less than 7 hours of sleep, you're going to have increased inflammation. Now, I just did a video talking about inflammation and chronic symptoms and chronic dysfunction and disease. Inflammation opens the door to dysfunction, which opens the door to disease. Cancer, as an example, is 10 to 20 years of cellular dysfunction and inflammation that has gone unmanaged. Same with autoimmune disease. These things rarely just turn on. It is unchecked inflammation that has not been addressed in the body. 71% increased risk of heart attack and angina when you get broken sleep and you get less than 7 hours of sleep. 45% risk increase of stroke. 50% increased risk of cardiovascular disease, which is no surprise. It's a number one killer in our country. Look around. We are a stressed, busy nation and people's sleep stinks. This really, really matters. You will also have an increased risk of hardening of your arteries, and you will have a 70% decrease of your T cells, which is your immune cells. So this is why, think about October to New Year's, right? We kick off all the sugary treats with Halloween, and then it leads into Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. Think about how many people are sick during that time. Maybe this is you. This used to be me. This used to be my family. It's not anymore. Thank goodness. We are eating sugar, which suppresses your immune function, and we are busy, and we're not sleeping great, suppresses immune function. It's a perfect storm. Now, here's the kicker. When you do not get uninterrupted sleep or you get less than 7 hours of sleep, you will, on average, eat 900 extra calories the following day because of that ghrelin leptin hormone balance that did not happen. So what can you do? Well, the truth is you can't catch up on sleep. Think about it. Natural sleep is when all these things happen. If you miss that window, your body just misses out. That opportunity is gone. So now your body has to recover. So that's actually what I'm doing today. You can probably tell by the way I'm dressed. I am not in office hours today. I am having a down day so I can quickly recover from not having proper rest last night. Now, I fully understand that many people can't just change their schedule. So, what can you do? You can focus on protein, you can focus on fiber, you can focus on eating the rainbow in veggies. So, you get in good polyphenols, flavonoids, phytonutrients that are antioxidants. They're going to help scrub out some of that inflammation. Hydration. This is ascorbic acid, so vitamin C crystals with electrolytes. I am rehydrating because only when we are properly hydrated can our body detox effectively and efficiently. And I want to detox out all the inflammation that happened from last night. So, what does proper hydration look like? It looks like half your weight in ounces of clean water. And just as a side note, please, please, please don't drink out of plastic. There are all kinds of studies showing that once plastic hits like 70 or 72 degrees, the chemicals in the plastic leach into the water, chemicals that are directly tied to breast cancer, and then you're drinking it. Now you might think, well, I keep my water bottles in the fridge. Great. They still were shipped to a store. You don't even want to know how many times I've gone to a grocery store in the middle of summer and I see cases of water stacked outside in the sun, and I look at it and I'm like, we are selling poisoned water. Not only are we selling poisoned water, but we're selling poisoned water that we know causes breast cancer. If you're carrying a plastic water bottle and you've left it in your car, throw it away. It's not worth drinking poison. This is a Stanley that I was gifted, but I have a stainless steel, like 80-ounce water bottle. That's normally what I drink out of. Stainless steel is not going to leach anything into your water. So glass and stainless steel are smarter options. So if this is you, if you are struggling with sleep in terms of you're tossing and turning, you're getting broken sleep, you're getting non-restorative sleep, or you're just not getting enough sleep, please reach out. Let's have a conversation about what you're navigating and how you can move forward in a better way. Sleep is so significant to your foundational health that I would go so far as to say you will never move forward in your health or rebalance your health without having that foundational piece, sleep, corrected. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hopefully the audio and the video this time captured properly. Please reach out with comments. I would love to hear your feedback. I'm here to support you. I'm happy to have a conversation. I would love you to share with me one aha moment you had, something you learned that you didn't realize before this. Thanks so much and have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody.